The Wildlife Center of Virginia treats many animals every year, and joining me now with a special book about one of those patients, and we even have an animal live in the studio, is Christy Grove, the author of Bailey the Bear Needs Help, and Connor Gillespie, an outreach specialist with the Wildlife Center. Thank you guys both so much for coming in today.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so starting with you, Christy, I know right here is your book about a black bear cub that was treated at the Wildlife Center. So tell us a little bit about Bailey's story and the book itself.
Yeah, thanks. So the book is called Bailey the Bear Needs Help, and it is the true story of a bear that was injured literally right near the Wildlife Center. They took the bear into the center and did a full assessment like they do. It's a wildlife hospital. So they x-rayed the bear and found that she had a broken jaw and needed help. And so they took her to surgery, they gave her medicine. It's the story of her journey through the Wildlife Center, how they helped her to get better and stronger and were ultimately able to release her back to the wild, which is what the Wildlife Center does for animals every day. Connor will tell you more about that in a minute, but they rehab all different sorts of native wildlife here in Virginia. And so Bailey's story is the third book that I've collaborated on with the Wildlife Center. The first was about Maggie, the one-eyed peregrine falcon. Maggie was a bird that fell in Virginia, in Richmond, Virginia, excuse me, and was rehabbed at the center and became an educational bird. And the second book was Greta the Great Horned Owl, about an injured owl.
All right, and you mentioned they help all different kinds of animals. I know one of them is here today. Clover, she's an American kestrel, right?
She is,
Okay.
yes. So our wildlife hospital is located in Waynesboro, Virginia. And every year now we're admitting close to 4,000 animals at our hospital, and those are all sorts of native wildlife, ranging from small animals like salamanders and toads all the way up to the largest animals in the state like bald eagles and black bears like in this story. And anytime an animal comes to our center, our goal is to treat them, get them better, and get them back out in the wild where they belong. But not every animal that comes to our center can be released like Bailey was. Some of them are too injured to return to the wild, or they don't have the right behavior to survive on their own. But sometimes they can stay with us as education animals, and that's Clover here. Clover is one of our almost 24 education animals. She's an American kestrel, which is a small species of falcon, the smallest falcon that we have here in the state. And she came to the Wildlife Center a couple of years ago. She was originally a wild bird, but she was actually taken from her nest at a very young age by falconers. I believe they did this to conduct some research, but they unfortunately took her when she was a little too young. So she went through a process called imprinting, and she's imprinted on people, which essentially means that she thinks she belongs with people. She would seek people out for food and care and all that. So when she was returned to the wild later that year, she didn't know how to survive on her own, and she struggled. So eventually she sort of made her way to a local gas station where she was flying up to people and asking for some food.
Oh, wow.
So she was admitted to our hospital later that day, and we quickly determined that she just didn't have the behavior to survive out in the wild. But luckily, she's doing a great job as an education animal, and she's been coming with us for some of these book tour stops, so that after people are reading about Bailey the black bear and learning about our center, they can kind of strengthen that connection by meeting with our animals. Like,
There
she's
she
giving a
goes.
nice little shake of her feathers there, and meeting an animal like this up close, I think really helps, strengthen that bond that people have with wildlife.
All right, and if people want to maybe learn more about Clover or maybe any of the other animals or all your efforts at the Wildlife Center, where can they go maybe to learn more about that?
Yeah, they can go to wildlifecenter.org, which is our website, and there is just so many resources there, whether it's someone who finds an animal that needs help and they need some advice, they can go on our website. We have our TV show, Untamed. All of the episodes are free to stream on our website. There's some really fun ones there. And for people that really want to learn more about this book, we have information about our book tour, or if they want to watch some of our current black bear cubs at the center, we have 5. they can go to the Critter Cams on our website, which are some live streams of some of our patients and some of our education animals. And right now we're featuring 5 black bear cubs. So
All
it's
right.
a really fun chance to see them as they're growing and developing and learning how to be black bears.
All right, so lots of good stuff on that website, and thank you guys both so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Yeah.